So today we're going to be harvesting our amaranth. Amaranth is a new crop for us, and it's a pretty interesting grain. The Conquistadors banned it when they were trying to convert people to Christianity. They made something out of amaranth that was very similar to Catholic communion, and so they thought it was threatening, so they banned it, and so they wouldn't let them grow it. It's kind of neat. But this is an awesome plant. It's super high in nutrition. You can actually eat the entire plant. So these leaves right here, they can also be used much like greens, and they're also very nutritious as well. And so you'll know that this amaranth is ready when you can basically take it, shake it or tap on it. You notice all those seeds falling in, so you know it's ready to rock and roll. So we've got a couple of these in here, and we're just going to sift them out with this larger colander at first for our first go around. And as you can see, just a couple heads producing quite a bit of grain. You see a lot of insects and stuff, so we're going to give a chance for those insects to kind of move out of there naturally, and that way, you know, we're not killing them all. And we're going to go along, we're just going to go ahead and harvest this entire row right here. So we'll start snapping these heads off. But we got our amaranth, so now we're just going to come along here and we're going to take each of these. We're just going to start kind of teasing out all the fluff and all the seeds. As you can see, there's quite a few coming out, so we'll shake that out of there, and then you end up with this here. So, you know, obviously we'll do this entire box and we'll have quite a bit more. This is just from this one bundle. I filled this full and I'm not really done with it yet. So you can see this is going to make quite a bit of grain, and you can see kind of, probably, maybe not with this camera, but there's a lot of insects and stuff that are coming out of that. So I just want to give them kind of a chance to get out of there and away from the grains without having to, you know, kill them. Hopefully they'll kind of go away. But as you can see, we got a lot of frass, or whatever you want to call this, the extra vegetation and the seed coverings and whatnot. And so what I'll do after we get done with this is I will further sift it into a smaller colander. And from that point out, you can kind of shake it and you'll be able to blow. See how when I blew it, that stuff moves away and reveals the seeds. But see how well that works? All them heavier seeds. It's kind of like gold panning, if you've ever done that. You know, you pan gold, the heavier stuff goes to the bottom and settles, and then you can kind of get rid of the stuff on the top. So seeds are a little bit heavier than all that frass and all the seed coverings and the flower petals and stuff that are in there, and so you can just kind of get rid of all that, and it works really pretty well. You just bring that more of that stuff to the top again, kind of sift it around, pan it, whatever you want to call it, and then get rid of it. Works pretty good. So we're gonna keep going. We got a lot to do, so we're gonna have a good bit of grain just from that small patch. So pretty excited about that. So what I plan to use this for is, you know, basically kind of like an oatmeal. It's much higher in protein than regular oatmeal, and it's just so nutritious. It's got a ton of different stuff. Why would you want to grow this stuff? It became illegal. It just hasn't really come back, and we've just used our staples. And you know, you eat wheat and rice and corn. Corn is actually a grain, and you eat you know, oats, and those are the grains that we don't really branch out much, but there's a lot more to eat than that. And unfortunately, with all of those that I just named previously, most of them are heavily sprayed with pesticides, and you know, they're rendered into different types of things, and stuff is added to them. If you get it at the grocery store, you can't hardly buy oatmeal without something added to it, and like sugar and whatnot. So having these grains that you can grow yourself that we don't spray, and you know, they're as natural as you can get right now. I mean, it's pretty hard to find really good stuff that you can trust to eat, and excited to have this, excited to try it. And so all of this that's left over, that I've gotten most of the seeds out, I'll just put that in a big pile and we'll give that to the chickens and ducks. They can eat that and use that as well for sustenance because it is edible as well. And chickens and ducks really, really like it. So this is a long drawn out process, but it's actually quite relaxing, you know, kind of sitting out here and just enjoying the sounds of the chickens and the ducks in the background, and the birds chirping, insects chirping, frogs chirping. Pretty relaxing. Where like this, you got a little bit of a breeze, and a lot of that stuff you don't want in there will actually fly away, while the other stuff kind of settles to the bottom. But you do have to be careful because you will lose some. If you just continue to do this and then kind of shake everything till it goes to the bottom, till the heavier grains go to the bottom, and you can kind of just continuously do that and then blow off the top there. And you just keep doing it until you have mostly grains. It's kind of a long process, but it's worth it for this stuff. After this sort of pouring from one bowl to the other, you know, especially if you have like a slight breeze, a lot of those petals and debris will fall out of there. And so you end up with something like this, which there's still some pink in there, so I have to continue this process, but I just continue this process until I'm happy with the amount of black in there, and I think the flavor will be exceptionally better the more of the stuff that you get out. But anyway, this is very, very close to being finished. It's a time-consuming process, but like I said, it's pretty relaxing. So that is Amaranth, and I'll have some videos out because I plan to make some things with it, and very fascinating crop, and I really enjoyed growing it. And it's very, very beautiful. You know, again, you know, this red Hopi, that's the type this is. It just looks really, really good. Very pretty plant, and so we might be using it for some bordering and stuff like that. And it gets very high, and so it's a very good privacy crop that can grow, you know, tall enough to kind of block the view of neighbors or whatever. So really cool stuff.